All right. So all the players and all the coaches are probably writing down all the things that they did differently today from their normal routine. So used a different pillow when they went to bed last night. New pair of shoes. That's what I did today, actually. This is the first time wearing these shoes. So players probably did a lot of things too. I think everybody probably took note of those things. But anyway, feels good. Feels good for to see the guys be able to rejoice when they've been yearning to do this so many times. They've been on the doorstep so many times. It would be one thing if it just was, not playing well, can't get a win, but there's been so many games where the body of work has been worthy of winning. And then, some decisions, a ball bounces this way, a call goes that way, a shot doesn't go in, and then we end up in this spot. So extremely happy for them and really proud of who they have been during this stretch. It's been a hard stretch for them. They work hard every day. It's easy for young people. I mean, it probably always has been, but I think in 2025 we can acknowledge that it's we haven't handled, young people haven't handled discouragement and failure quite as much as they had when I was growing up or whenever. So it's new to them. Doesn't mean they're worse people or better people. It's just new to them. And so for them to continually have the energy, the effort, the belief that they have in anticipation of playing well and winning a game has been really impressive. And that's what I'm proudest or most proud of them for. So, it was a good game for the guys. I'm really happy for them.
Questions, David on the left.
Lamont's 22-point lead with 7 minutes to go, and all of a sudden it's down to 11. How do you think the guys handled that? Saying like, hey, you've kind of been there before, but you were able to handle it and get it done.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you would always rather draw it up that way as a coach, for sure. It would be nice to coast a 22-point win, and there would be a lot of celebrations happening. But just as a reminder, and for our benefit tomorrow while we're watching film, hey, look at this situation. Look at it. Here's a decision that we made in this situation, right? And then not only is it that isolated decision, but then 3 decisions later, that guy made his decision, which is a even dicier decision based on what's already happened. And so we need to continue to learn in those situations, because that's what's really cost us in some of these games is some of our decisions, which are the most controllable things. Now, you can always counteract decisions with incredible play. I think you can always do that, but it's hard to just summon incredible basketball play whenever you need it. So I think the decisions is a little bit easier, but I think the way it worked out probably was better for us. I thought we did a good job of regrouping. I used some timeouts. I think we did a good job of regrouping, taking the moment in, seeing what we had done, and then stepping up, making free throws, getting the ball across half court aggressively, all the things that you needed to do when you have been fortunate enough to build a lead to bring the ship home.
Elijah on the front.
Through about the first, 13 or 14 minutes of the game, I think you guys held Texas to like half a point per possession, and Trey Johnson was kind of inefficient, shooting. He looked pretty uncomfortable. What was kind of maybe the key for your defense to be able to execute at that type of level?
Yeah, I think in all of this, there's a component of performance that the other team has that affects how it works. I mean, we've had a stretch of these last 3 or 4 games where we've played pretty good defense at times, and guys have just made some crazy shots. The performances have been incredible. So, to some degree, he missed some shots that maybe he makes in particular. He's a very good, difficult shot maker. But I will say this, I thought we were really disciplined. I thought we were really committed to staying between him and the basket, and we did not. We talked about this ad nauseum, not fouling him when he shot the ball. Right, he's going to make it or miss it. You can affect it a little bit, but it doesn't really. That extra little couple inches at the end of it really doesn't make a difference, except for it may make you foul him. So I thought that was the key. He was really aggressive in the second half. Maybe at times to the detriment of what they were, some of the other guys, and the rhythm that the other guys had, maybe. But overall, I felt like we did a good job on a guy he's a tremendous talent. I'm not, that's the understatement of 2025 probably, but I thought we did overall a pretty good job, especially in that first half, but overall I thought we did a pretty good job.
Jared in the back.
Hey, Coach. Going into that half up with a big lead, what did you tell the guys during halftime in order to close that game out?
I think we focused on a couple of things. We talked about the things that we had done well and how it was going to be difficult to reproduce some of those things in the second half. They were going to be really aggressive, but I just talked about trying to stick with things that we had done. I thought we had spread the ball around really well. I thought our quality of shot in the first half was really good. And so you just talked about, I hate to use the cliche of it's 0-0 when you go out there. Well, it's not 0-0. You're up 18. And if they hit 2 threes in a row, you're up 12. And don't pretend that the guys don't know 18 turned to 12 in a nanosecond. So it was just keep doing our thing. Keep playing, respond if something happens. They're going to go on runs. This is what basketball is. We're going to have another run too. And, pretty much just stick to the script and try to make as many good decisions as we can while we're playing.
Jack in the middle left and then Al.
I know you've talked plenty about before. You've wanted CMB to kind of take matters into his own hands, if you will. Did you feel like he was doing that in the first half tonight? And what did you think of his overall performance?
Yeah, I did. I thought he was being really aggressive. That was generation of offense. That was to a T. That was us having our offense generated by and large by Colin Murray-Boyles, which is, I said coming into the season that would be the biggest challenge. It wouldn't be what did he average, can he score 17 points. This guy's very talented. He can score 17 in any system, in any game. He can score 17. But what does it look like to score 17 when you have to generate the offense and they're going to send a couple guys at you? They sent 3 guys at him at times tonight. Then what does that look like? And this was a good example of him being able to do that. And the floor was really spread. I thought in the first half especially, we got to some really spread situations which allowed him, and he opted in instead of opting out from scoring. He opted in and attacked really hard. His moves were aggressive. This was some of the most efficient moves. He's tried to attack the basket before, and some of them haven't been as efficient. They were strong moves. He was on balance. He finished through contact multiple times. They went to the zone, and then that was when it really that actually really spaced it even more. We threw it to him in the middle of the floor, and he was really making some good decisions and some good plays, mainly for himself. But he's so unselfish that he's always going to be looking for other guys when they're out there too. But I thought he did a good job of keeping his foot on the gas pedal and generating offense for his team.
Alan on the left.
Colin used the word relief to describe what he was feeling. Is that what you're feeling after finally snapping the streak, or is there something else for you? What's the main emotion right now after that?
Yeah, relief is a good way to put it. I think relief is a good way to put it. I'll tell you what it does is in a weird way, Dawn probably experienced this when they were undefeated for 100 games in a row or whatever it was that they won, right? That at some point it's easy to be consumed by that, and you're not even really looking at the performance necessarily. So I think what it really does, the relief to me is that, and it's funny to hear him say that because obviously that's all they hear about and someone saying this. And so the relief is that now they can take everything at face value. The whole world opened up again. The whole world opened up. They can listen to things differently that I say. They can process things differently now that they're not consumed by that one thing. And so I think that's where relief comes in, is that you're able to move forward. And the last thing you remember is playing pretty well.
John, on the back right.
You've coached a lot of winning basketball over your years. You talked about the effort and the spirit of the players. Just curious, what it's been like for you these last couple of months and trying to keep your spirit high and
Yeah.
how that process has gone for you.
Yeah, one thing is, I keep things in perspective. There are a lot of people. I got a lot of text messages, and some of them I look at and I think it's like there are a lot of people going through some real things in life, and so while you pour a lot into this, a lot, it's not. No one's dying because of this. No, so I try to keep things in perspective. That's one thing. But I will admit, there's been sometimes an probably unhealthy level of breaking film down to the nth degree. There's got to be something else in there. You have your normal way of doing things. You know this is what this is, and should yield these results. And then when that's not happening, or you're going through something like this, you're diving deeper, and then you're diving deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's honestly, so you got to take some walks and listen to music, or you have to get out of it. You have to get out of it, otherwise you'll go crazy doing it. And so, and I have been able to do that recently. In these last couple of games, I have stopped trying to do that as much, and then just go back to the things that these aren't guesses. Like you said, I've been around a lot of winning. These things are the things. And, as guys pick them up, great. If they don't, we'll have some struggles here and there. But, and my staff, I've also, I've tried hard to be as positive as I can. And I'm generally a positive person. But there's probably also some times that they hear from me as we're doing this, and I give them a lot of credit for putting up with me on a day-to-day basis. But I got a good staff, and so it's good. It's nice to get to that point, and then start just worrying about getting another win. 2 starts with 1.
Alex, on the right here.
Just 8 turnovers a night going against a team that forces a double digit, I think 12 per game. How key was that, especially in those late moments, not having those key turnovers?
Yeah, it was huge. We tried. We saved up enough. We had enough of a buffer that we tried in that time. You go to first half and have only 2 turnovers. I think that was huge. I mentioned before, our points per possession offensively, and by and large, in most of these games, there's some outliers, obviously, but in a lot of these games, our points per possession has been, when we didn't turn it over, just the possessions that we got a shot, our points per possession has been over 1, which is kind of like the general number to say you do anything defensively, you're probably going to be in position to win. And we've had a ton of games that it's been like that, over 1 point per possession. So it really has come down to turnover. So it was nice that we had a game where we only turned it over twice in the first half, and then we did have a really good point per possession in that first half. So I thought that was key to the game. They turned the pressure up in the second half, and it took us a little bit to get adjusted to it. They made a run. We calmed down. Guys calmed down a little bit, because they wanted to win so badly that it's easy to see how any little delta in the lead is noticeable to the guys. So when it got cut down to 11, I thought they did a really good job of settling back down, getting back to playing basketball, and did some normal things like get the ball up the floor aggressively. They play off 2 feet and find an open guy, make some free throws when they needed to, get a good, big rebound when we needed to. So I give them a lot of credit for managing that run. I thought that run in particular was the one that allowed us to find a way to victory tonight.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.